Alrighty guys, welcome back to another episode of Trophy Trails. Today we have a little bit of a different episode for you guys. I'm going to be telling you all the story of my 2024 Missouri buck that I shot a few weeks ago. I'm just going to put in a full recap, everything that happened, get into the details about the hunts, what I saw, who I was with, the time of year it was. So let's just dive right into it. It's November 1st, and we were headed out to Missouri. So we headed out to Missouri. It took about 15 to 16 hours. We got there on Thursday this trip instead of Friday. So the first sit was Thursday evening. I went with my brother Josh that evening. We saw a few doe, and we had Spike 10 yards from us. Got some really cool footage of the deer, which was a lot of fun. It was a good first sit. So the next morning, I was filming for my dad that whole day, which was Friday, November 2nd. The first morning, we saw 25 deer, had a bunch of action, saw a big buck out in the field, and just totally a lot of deer, which was a lot of excitement for me, which got my hopes up for the next upcoming hunts in that trip. That evening, we went down to the Muddy Bottom where we went Thursday night. So 2 evenings in a row we went to the Muddy Bottom. So we were sitting there for a while. We had seen not many deer, decent, I think might have been like a doe or something, and not many deer that sit. It can happen so fast. We look over, and about 150 yards out, there's a big wide A point coming right towards us. And this thing walks, I'm getting footage of it, walks to 30 yards. My dad draws back, he shoots. Light knock, didn't go through him. We saw that it broke off. We had no idea how good the shot was. So we watched some videos on the shot, see how long we could wait. We gave him about 3 hours. We went back out, tracked him for a while, didn't find him at night, called a guy with a dog. The next morning, couldn't find him. No idea where he is to this day. We were really disappointed about that, and it was tough, but that's just how it went, and that's how it goes sometimes. So that was Friday. Saturday morning was the opening morning of Youth Day 2024. Saturday morning, we went to the same spot. We didn't see much. We saw a few little buck and a good amount of doe, but no shooters. So we decided to change some scenery and head over to our farm that we bought last year. It was my first hunt on the farm. It's about 45 minutes from there, so it's close enough that we can go back and forth when we want to. So we headed over there, and we hunted that night. We saw a little spike. We saw a few doe really close to us. And crack of dark, like with 5 minutes left of daylight, we look out this huge plot that we had in front of us. At the end of the plot, there's a group of 8 deer. Big bodies, but we couldn't see what they were. It's about 400 yards out. And on the one side of the food plot and the other side of the food plot, there's a box stand. So they were right under that other box stand. So we're like, shoot, wow, that sucks. So we slept, woke up next morning. Because we saw those deer there, we decided to go out to the box stand that was on the other side of the food plot. So we woke up. It was a very rainy, windy day. It was just a terrible morning, to be honest. It was very rainy, very wet. We saw one doe like 200 yards out. That's all we saw for that morning. That led us with the last hunt of the trip to get it done. It was Sunday evening, November 3rd, 2024. We We've been sitting in a stand for not long. We were watching NFL football. We were watching some college football, and we look out, hear something in the brush. Doe comes out, Spike comes out. They're like 10 yards from us, so we're just sitting there watching them for a while. They kind of go away, and there's like a 30-minute break in between when we didn't see any deer. So there was about 20 minutes left of daylight. Not much daylight to work with for the last hunt of the trip. We had this conversation, me and my dad had this conversation. We're like, we're out here, we're not gonna get something every time. Sometimes we're gonna have to go home empty-handed, blah, blah, blah. We look out, Dad's like, there's a doe. About 200 yards out, there was a doe. Dad's like, there might be a buck behind her, so just be patient, see what happens. Sure enough, 20 seconds later, absolute giant steps out over the edge of the field. We look up and we just see horns. So yeah, my heart was just pounding and I was freaking out, but the doe came in the whole way to about 100 yards, followed 150 yards, I would say, followed the edge of the plot and kind of went back into the woods. The doe went to the plot. The buck was standing there just like this. And I was like, Dad, this thing might go back where it came from and I wouldn't get a shot at this buck. This is my opportunity. Can I shoot him right there? Dad's like, just stay patient. This thing was cornered right towards us, and I'm so thankful that I didn't take that shot. The buck followed the doe. Perfect, 150 yards. We went, Mer. Kept walking. Mer. Again. Looked at us. Smoked it. Kind of trotted. I got another shot off at it. Skimmed his back. And it kind of disappeared. We looked back at the footage while we were in the stand. And we could put it on slow-mo. And we could see the impact of the bullet in like a very good spot of the deer. So that is when we really got excited, knew it was a good shot. Just in case though, we got down from the stand from like 20 minutes later after we called some people, went, peeked over the field to see if he was still alive laying there. And sure enough, he was dead, laying there. Only ran like 20 yards from where we shot him. My dad tackled me. We were just rolling around in the middle of a food plot in the middle of our farm. And I was fortunate enough to be the first one to kill a buck on our farm that we bought, which is just a privilege and I'm really thankful for. So yeah, that's basically the recap of these buck. Yeah, I was just really happy. Made a lot of memories. Yeah, make sure to go check out some of our other videos and have a good rest of your day.